when a Chinese-made fighter jet that had been in service for over a decade crashed into a campus packed with 2,000 students, trailing flames. The skies over South Asia were filled with the acrid smell of burning metal and charred textbooks. How many more innocent lives must these Cold War-era air veterans claim before they can retire with dignity? On July 21, 2025, at 1:06 p.m., an F-7BGI fighter jet of the Bangladesh Air Force roared into the sky from the runway at Dhaka's Kurmatola Air Force Base. This Chinese-made J-7 series export model was supposed to complete a routine training exercise, but suffered a mechanical failure during the climb phase. Just 12 minutes later, the out-of-control aircraft crashed like a meteor into the Mirestone College, in the Uttara area of northern Dhaka. The preliminary report from the accident investigation team revealed even more chilling details. 3 minutes before the crash, the control tower recording captured Toker's urgent report: hydraulic system completely failed, control stick unresponsive. Video footage taken by ground witnesses showed the silver-gray fighter jet suddenly tilting to the right at an altitude of 300 meters, its underside scraping the water tank on the roof of a residential building, and its left wing tearing off during the impact. The spinning aircraft, carrying metal debris, crashed into the third floor of the school building. The most deadly secondary explosion occurred 8 seconds after the impact. The auxiliary fuel tank under the fuselage ruptured, releasing 2,000 liters of aviation fuel that formed a flowing fire. The flames spread through the stairwell, instantly engulfing 2 classes of students who were evacuating. When the fire department arrived, the west wing of the classroom building had become an incinerator. The high temperatures melted the aluminum alloy window frames, and the concrete floor slabs cracked and collapsed under thermal stress. Rescue dogs located 7 areas where bodies were concentrated in the rubble. The forensic autopsy report was shocking. Most of the victims did not die from the impact, but from inhaling high-temperature toxic gases, causing extensive necrosis of the respiratory tract mucosa. The horrific scene caused the retired paratroopers involved in the rescue to vomit uncontrollably on the spot. This F-7BGI, with the serial number BN 1712, was the youngest J-7 fighter in the Bangladesh Air Force. It was painted with the commemorative emblem eagle's wings when it was manufactured in 2012. However, over its 13 years of service, its flight logs recorded an alarming history. Since 2018, it had reported 27 mechanical failures, including 3 in-flight engine shutdowns and 9 hydraulic system alerts. During a major overhaul last year, maintenance personnel discovered a 2.3 mm crack in the wing main spar, but could only reinforce it due to a lack of spare parts. This exposed the fragile logistics of the Bangladesh Air Force. The country has imported a total of 36 J-7 series aircraft since 1990, with an average fleet age exceeding 25 years. More critically, there is a maintenance gap. China has ceased production of the J-7, and original manufacturer parts are no longer available. Meanwhile, the Bangladesh Air Force's annual budget is only $50 billion, forcing it to maintain flight operations through a patchwork approach. The accident investigation team found in the wreckage that the wear on the rudder control cables had reached 3.7 times the safety standard, with the fracture points showing typical metal fatigue patterns. Clear evidence of structural fatigue erosion after over 10,000 flight hours. The strong winds of 15 meters per second and convective cloud clusters over Dhaka on the day of the accident became the final straw that broke the camel's back. The original design relied on ground radar guidance, which was akin to a blind man riding a blind horse in complex weather conditions. The blood-soaked exam paper forced Bangladesh to confront the delayed decision to upgrade its fleet after a decade of procrastination. The optimal solution had been the China-Pakistan co-developed JF-17 Fierce Dragon Block 3, priced at $25 million United States dollars per unit. Equipped with the KL-J-7 active phased array radar, capable of launching PL-15E missiles with a range of 150 kilometers, and sharing data links with Bangladesh's current Li-80 air defense system and VT-5 tanks. However, historical grievances have closed this door. During the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, Bangladesh gained independence while harboring resentment toward Pakistan, making it impossible to accept weapons co-developed by an enemy nation. The 5th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee. Upon hearing the news, Indian Defence Minister Singh flew to Dhaka within 72 hours and unveiled a large-scale Tejas fighter jet poster at the Prime Minister's office. The unit price was reduced to $80 million, with a commitment to transfer 40% of production technology, and a package deal offering a $300 million maintenance center construction plan. However, the Tejas fighter jet's promotional videos cannot hide its fatal flaws. The Israeli L-M 2052 radar onboard has a failure rate as high as 37% during the tropical rainy season, and the American-made F-404 engine requires major repairs every 800 hours. More ironically, out of the 9 Tejas Mk-1s received by the Indian Air Force, 5 have been grounded for an extended period due to delamination of the composite skin. How can such a fighter jet protect the skies of the world's most densely populated country? In contrast, representatives from Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group quietly entered the Dhaka Army headquarters with operational data on the J-10CE. A tablet continuously played footage of an air battle on May 7, 2025. 2 J-10CE fighters from the Pakistani Air Force's 16th Squadron, equipped with gallium nitride radar, first locked onto Indian Rafale fighters over Kashmir, then fired PL-15E missiles at a distance of 110 kilometers, forcing the Indian aircraft to jettison their auxiliary fuel tanks and perform an emergency evasion maneuver. Technical specifications reveal deeper advantages. The radar has a detection range of 220 kilometers, can track 15 targets simultaneously, and guide 6 missiles for attack. The Tai-Hong WS-10C engine delivers 144 kilonewtons of thrust, achieving a thrust-to-weight ratio exceeding 1.1. Most critically, the aircraft's service life reaches 8,000 hours, far surpassing the Tejas' 4,000 hours. Chinese negotiators outlined a systematic solution at the Santable 16 J-10CE fighters at a total price of $640 million, payable over 5 years, construction of a regional maintenance center in Chittagong, training 120 ground engineers, and provision of 3 full mission simulators to shorten training cycles. When India protested that this would disrupt regional balance, Chinese diplomats tapped their tablets to display satellite imagery. India's newly constructed Brahmaputra missile base in Tripura state is just 280 kilometers from Dhaka. The tragedy in Dhaka is catalyzing a profound shift in South Asia's military power dynamics. Myanmar Air Force Commander So Win visited China urgently to convert the Su-30 SME order into 24 J-10CE fighters. Thailand announced the suspension of the second batch of F-35 purchases and is now evaluating a mixed fleet of J-10C fighters and domestically produced Gripen fighters. U.S. defense contractor Lockheed Martin hastily proposed the F-16V Viper plan, but the unit price of $210 million left Bangladesh's finance minister speechless. That amount could equip an entire aviation brigade, including early warning aircraft and air defense systems. A more intense strategic competition is unfolding in the depths of the Indian Ocean. Bangladesh's Navy recently tested the C-802 anti-ship missile, which precisely hit a decommissioned cargo ship 150 kilometers away. The Chinese Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, which provided the missile technology, is a sister company of AVIC, the manufacturer of the J-10C. As India's Shivalik class frigate rushed to the Bay of Bengal to monitor the exercise, the blue dots representing the J-10C on the electronic Santable in the Bangladesh Defense Ministry's hall had already covered the entire Andaman Islands. In the scorched earth of the Uttara campus, rescue teams dug out half a charred physics notebook from the rubble. The page that was opened was a problem on Newton's second law, with the words acceleration changes destiny written in childish handwriting in the blank space. 300 meters away, the accident investigation team was using a laser scanner to reconstruct the fighter jet's final flight path. The data showed that Lieutenant Toker, after the hydraulic system failed, managed to turn the jet 23 degrees using pure mechanical control. This critical 4-second struggle allowed the jet to avoid the most densely populated auditorium. This flight path diagram, obtained at the cost of a life, now lies on Prime Minister Hasina's desk. Alongside 2 pending military procurement drafts, the contract for the Tejas fighter jet includes a $500 million interest-free loan promised by India, while the J-10C file contains the financing agreement for the 3rd phase of the Chittagong Deepwater Port project. Outside the window, protesters hold up portraits of the deceased students, their slogans blazing under the scorching sun. Our skies should not be a graveyard for obsolete fighter jets.